Coach, obviously the video going around yesterday of Coach, Gene Ariema's comments, I guess, what was kind of your reaction to that, and what did you think of, what he had to say?
Yeah, so this one I'm gonna speak slowly because it's a loaded, obviously, question there. First and foremost, I think the comments that were made were in reference to the St. John's game. And the timing of that game was, I believe, on Saturday. And so, honestly, I never even heard them. I try to keep off Twitter. I know you do too with social media. We were literally yesterday going to practice beforehand, and that's when we became aware of assumptions. Because in that video, here's the thing, Gino's a legend in the game. And I got a chance late last night to actually listen to it. And you know what? A lot of the comments he made were actually right. Like, I felt it. But the problem was at the end of the assumption of the reference to Seton Hall. And the thing that I love about Twitter, it's a platform and an information piece, but also it allows for a lot of voices to be talked about. But most importantly, that's why I'm sitting here today, which Lauren was already scheduled to be here before this even happening because we've had a player every week. But the assumption that it was a reference to her, right? And there was obviously several players who left Seton Hall last year, so we don't know if he was speaking to her, but now that we have this platform, and I appreciate the question, I'm going to speak for her, which her is a name, Lauren Park Lane, okay? And Lauren Park Lane is just an absolute winner. And I know a lot of the comments, because I did read them last night, are going across the country. Everybody's talking about the negatives within some of those statements or feedback that's coming. But the one thing I'm upset about as her head coach is nobody's talking about what makes her so special and so good. And I printed off a picture here. This picture here, all right, if you can zoom in, is everything to me. Because Lauren Park Lane defies what's great about college athletics. Her story is more than just a basketball player. This is a young lady, first and foremost, that graduated from Seton Hall. Graduated in 4 years, okay? And everybody's got to remember the climate and the timing that's going on in college athletics. COVID did happen. Okay, so players have a right currently, and we have one more year next year for COVID kids to have an option after 4 years that they can make a decision whether they want to stay or leave. And I'll never forget my time at Louisville. I was with, like I keep on telling you, future Hall of Famer Jeff Walz, who we sat in his office with Mikasa Robinson when she reached the point, was like, Mikasa, you're going to graduate. So after this, you fulfilled your 4-year commitment. We would love to have you for another year, but if you decide to leave, you have our blessing. And that was kind of the situation here. She graduated in social behavior science at Seton Hall, and she has a passion and a desire for the fashion world. So I'm shouting out, in case this goes viral, to any future CEO or female business owners, because that's, again, the platform we live in. So let me put some respect on my girl's name, all right, for future business opportunities, because she wants to get in fashion. And the one thing that I love being her head coach, all right, as I always joke about, is she gives me a swag and energy about me is because that's who she is. She's a winner as a person. And here she's come, and again, that's the kind of student athletes that we seek out for the right reasons. Outside of basketball, she's pursuing a fashion merchandise opportunity. And again, it's just she taking advantage of a situation that the NCAA provided for all COVID students. Without COVID, your college career would be over right now, right?
Facts.
All right, but it's not. And she was granted an extra year, and she's taken advantage of it. We're lucky to have her. And most importantly, what I love about her is she still has a heart and a passion about her experience at Seton Hall. That's not the environment that we have here, where you tweeted several times already for the love for the people that are back there. It was cool to see the alumni and the fan base back there on those Twitter feeds that were like, Lauren, we still love you. And, just the cool vibes, again, which a young woman like her shouldn't have to go through, that she's done it the right way, but she's done it with class. Her family's raised her to the highest standard. And most importantly, she's a role model. She's a role model for every little girl out there that desires to play the right way, but she's also a role model for every student athlete that wants to pursue higher education and get her degree and go on to bigger things. So those are kind of my general comments with that.
Robbie here in the front. Lauren, kind of, talking big picture of the transfer. I know early in the season you had discussed a little bit, opened up a little bit about, the transition that you had to make here, and your players, your teammates had really kind of lifted you up. What's it been like since that moment? And you know, you had the big game where you hit 10 3-pointers, kind of getting your feet set here and getting going in the SEC.
Yeah, I just think it goes to speak for like our program here at Mississippi State. It's just like they have so much confidence in me, starting with Coach Sam to the whole coaching staff to my teammates. I just had to find that confidence in myself in a transition. I'm new to Mississippi. This is my first time being in Mississippi ever. I didn't know anybody before coming here. So it was like a leap of faith that I took coming here. And, you know, I knew it wasn't going to be easy. Sometimes it was hard. But, you know, just having a good support system around you. Shout out to my parents, too. They helped me a lot. Just having people around you who care about you and genuinely want to see you do good. Just it helps in the most ways. So just shout out to them, honestly.
Stephon here in the front.
Lauren, I'm sure you've heard it in the past, but what's it mean to have Coach Purcell kind of take your back there and all that he had to say about you?
Yeah, it's insane. Like, it's just honestly, it just makes me feel good. Like just being a new player here, he didn't have to come up here and do this for me. You know, he wanted to, and it just speaks to him as a person, you know, because honestly, he took a leap of faith with me, too, out of the portal. Like, I didn't have to be here, you know, but I think it speaks to, like, my character and also his. You know, he has all the faith in me, and, you know, it shows now on the court, honestly.
I'll go here in the back.
Lauren, I know I saw your tweets yesterday after the Gino video clip was kind of circulating. I didn't know if you, after kind of 24 hours of those being released, if you had any kind of additional comments or anything about his statement that you wanted to kind of address there.
Yeah, no, not really. You know, I dealt with it yesterday. You know, honestly, now just letting the adults deal with it now. My focus is on Tennessee and, you know, the rest of our season.
I'll go here in the front with Ben.
Hey, Coach, I mean, regarding those comments that were circulating, just any broader thoughts about some of the things he said regarding NIL and the portal? Obviously, Gino's a coach that's been around a long time and had to adjust to this era, whereas you just became a head coach last season. Do you think that's any different for someone like you, maybe more used to the new era that we're in?
Yeah, no, again, that's why I want to make sure this gets hopefully put out the right way, because again, like I said, I have so much respect for Gino and some of the comments he made. I agree. I really do agree. Like, I feel some of that way, but again, that's the hard part with today's NCAA and college athletics. Some of the rules that were put in place were for the right reasons for the right kids. Like, a kid who goes to a university for 4 years should have a right, if they have another year of eligibility, to transfer. And I know our fans don't want to hear that, but when I go into a home for a high school kid now, I don't talk about 5 years. I talk about 4 years. Now, if circumstance happens with an injury or some crazy situation, then they're allowed to put a file in for a 5th year. But nobody ever goes into a home for any conversation after 4 years. It just doesn't happen. Now, we're going to be with you as an alum and stay with you for a 40-year plan. But as far as just playing, that's why I'm so happy for her, what she did and how she did it with class. She just happened to play during COVID. Right? And so for me, I guess I fall under the younger generation with hearing her story. And that's where, you've got certain young people out there that, again, the NCAA put rules in place for people like her. And there's other situations where those rules happen to help protect the right student athletes. And Lauren Park Lane is the right student athlete, and she's the right person. And so she shouldn't, like I said, I don't think this needs to be an attack on Gino, because, again, some of Gino's comments were just in generalization. I think it was the feedback, again, with what social media provides, where other people assumed and got involved, and then that's why I'm here to stand up today, because if you want to assume about anything, well, I'm going to assume to make sure you don't talk about my kids. And most importantly, got her back, and let's assume that we share the right story and who she is as a person, and that's what it is. She's a young lady that we're going to see 40 years from now, and it's not going to just be talking about at Mississippi State. She's going to go on to her professional opportunities with basketball, basketball, but she's also going to have awesome professional opportunities in the fashion world. And I'm excited. And again, I'm keeping putting it out there. I hope this goes viral. I hope one of these big-time fashion people take advantage of my opportunity and platform right now and hit my girl up, all right? Because she does have swag, right?
Yep.
All right, and you would be honored to hire her in the workforce, because that is the thing with today's student athletes, that they're different, they're unique, and I'll be more than happy to talk on her behalf of how special this young lady is.
All right, moving on to Tennessee.
You know, so much of the NIL narrative this first couple of years has been football, basketball, but the fact that now women's basketball is picking up, like you say, the social media world is that kind of a point that the profile of this sport has also been raised by NIL also?
Yeah, no, I think it's not so much just the NIL, it's for women's athletics, right? That's why when we played at South Carolina, and I told my team, like, am I trying to beat South Carolina? You better believe it. At the same time, I'm giving respect to what Dawn Staley's done. Dawn Staley's grown the game. Like, the TV deal that we got for NCAA just went up. Well, Dawn's a big part of that, right? Like, Kim Mulkey, we're playing at LSU coming up. All right, do we want to beat LSU? Yeah, but at the same time, I'm giving respect for the OGs and the vets and the people who have been before. That's what we were talking about, man. The game's great right now. We love it. So, yeah, people can give these side conversations, and that's why I say Twitter sometimes gets in trouble, because there's stories and narratives that want to go, but who's talking about the truth, right? And that's where we take a lot of value here at Mississippi State, and it's a reason I took the job, is because we have a winning product. We're not a side piece. We're a main piece. We bring value. And our young women know when they put on that jersey that we have one responsibility, is to play hard and provide for entertainment for fans who pay their hard-earned money and come watch us play. Are we guaranteed wins? No. But we're going to provide an entertainment and a passion that we're going to take advantage for you spending your hard money and, most importantly, your time to come watch us. And I think that's where the climate is now, and it's great to see the opportunity these young women are getting with the ESPN deals. And then, most importantly, corporations and businesses investing in these young women at an early age. You keep reading now with high school kids signing shoe deals, college kids getting multiple deals with corporations, because not only is it a thing to do, it's the right thing to do. And it's really cool time in today's college athletics.
Here, Robbie in the front. Moving on to Tennessee, and you have a really talented team. I know they've struggled a little bit.
Yeah.
What's really stood out to them so far when you looked at their film and, you know, who they are now with Rakia back and kind of getting back to full strength?
Yeah, well, here's the first thing. I have the most respect for Kelly Harper, and I have the most respect for Tennessee. First of all, we're talking about a program that has participated in all 41, not one, not two, not three, but 41 NCAA tournaments. That's a winning culture. Like, that's crazy when you think about that. So I laugh, Robbie, when the perception out there is, like you said, struggle. They're not struggling. They're second in the league right now in SEC standing. So here's the thing. I've been trying to educate my team. Don't fall for the okie doke. Rakia Jackson's a lottery pick. She's really good. They've got several great players, but here's where I give a lot of respect to Kelly, that we kind of went through the same thing. They've had injuries. So for the national standard that they've been able to build over these 41 years, maybe it's not there right now, but that's still a locker room of talented players, great players. Again, for them to be 3-1 in the SEC and tied for second, this is a huge game. And then obviously we're praying for great weather, and I appreciate everyone making an effort to come out today, because it is icy here in Mississippi, and we're hoping that we can keep that energy that we had from last crowd, because that was nice, right?
Right.
Were you feeling that crowd?
Yeah.
Man, it was unbelievable, all right? And we want to keep that vibe, because, again, as much as we're talking about the history of their program, that's where I told y'all from day one, being the head coach of Mississippi State, I'm trying to get that same culture and that same standards. We made it in year one to the NCAA tournament, and we're trying to make it year two and make it 2 in a row.
Lauren, your 2 wins you had last week were very different styles. You had to withstand a team that came out and just shot the lights out from outside, then an Ole Miss team that tried to play really physical with you. What does it say about your team now that you adapted both ways and were able to win a couple of tough games moving forward?
Yeah, we're getting better every single day. It's become very apparent to me how we're playing a lot harder on defense. And on offense, it's just coming naturally to all of us. I think Ole Miss game was like the definition of just like, we don't really care. We just wanted to win. And we know, I know, for real, that the SEC is nothing to play with. Like, you got to come out every night playing hard and, you know, just doing everything the right way. So I think this team is just moving up the ladder. We're just getting better every day, so it's getting scary.
Here in the back.
Sam, what's the biggest, last week going 0-2 in SEC, and then this week, getting 2 wins on there and getting back, on track. What's been the biggest difference, I guess, you've seen from your team this past week compared to the one prior?
I just think it's the SEC, to be honest with you. I mean, obviously in college athletics, again, I always say it, we're different than football, man. It's just a journey. It's a punch. And in this league, I mean, we happen to play Vanderbilt, who I think is one of the hottest teams in the country, and they earned it. They took one at our place, and then we go play the #1 team in the country, which, everybody's like, you started 0-2. Well, yeah, we played one of the teams was the #1 team in the country. But we also competed for 4 quarters, and we won some individual goals. So I think us sticking together and not letting society determine what is success and what's not, but us knowing to look in the mirror and truly say, hey, what are we doing well and what are we not? And then, again, that's why college basketball is the greatest sport, because you can never win a game all year, all right? And then get to your conference tournament and win it. And then at that point, you're automatically in the NCAA tournament. So you're never out in a season. Like, as crazy as that sounds, that can't happen in football. You don't win your games in football. You're not going to the national championship, guys. You can do that in basketball. So that's why I always have a message about me that, you know what, man, bend, but don't break. Stay together, learn, and make sure you're playing your best basketball come March. And I think we're along that course right now, and I'm excited about the opportunities, like she said, where we can continue to get better. But at the same time, understanding we're in a league that, as you've already seen, it doesn't matter if you're at the bottom or you're at the top. Anybody can beat anybody, so we got to take it with a grain of salt.
Stuff on here in the front.
Lauren, I know it's only a 4-game sample size, but what have kind of been your impressions of playing in the SEC and some of the competition you guys have gone against?
Yeah, it's lit, honestly. Like, it's really fun. Like, you have to come out every night, like, with the right mindset, or else you can get waxed, honestly. And I think that's what I came here for like, the competition every single night. You never know what you might get from any team. It's just been really fun, learning the league, and, I'm just excited for what's to come.
And I want to add something to her. And again, that's why, guys, I always tell you I'm a phrase. I love songs. I love words, right? You're learning as I go in year 2, but I also love pictures. And again, I'm going to keep referring back to this picture and this young lady, Lauren Parklane. All right, this picture means the world to me because, again, I want to go back to social media because I don't pay attention to it till I need to. And I was reading some of the comments. The reason we're having success is because of this young lady right here. Today's society, when I tell y'all when I come in, even like Aaron, people get so caught up in a box score. That is so not the truth in our world. This picture right here is a young lady that, yeah, she was 20-point scorer, 18-point scorer. But when you think about her record, she is 1 of 7. That's 2,000 career points and 800 assists. That's unbelievable. All right, that is historic. When you're talking about Caitlin Clark, who is unbelievable right now, and what she's doing, it is awesome. But right behind it, when you look in the rec book, is this young lady right here, Lauren Parklane. All right, and what I love about her is her growth, because she has dreams of playing professional basketball. The scout is, all right, can you play with other great players? So her coming in and passing the ball and being a great teammate and just what she's brought value and we're winning has shown the next level. Yeah, I already checked those boxes of scoring. Now my goals are bigger than just what I've done in my first 4 years. I got an opportunity in this year to do something special. And this picture is a reflection of who she is as a person, because the day she has her highest career point scoring, our team went nuts. And they knew how special, because she sacrificed, I think, 10 to 12 games before we played Colorado State for others. But that day, they were so excited about her and her character and what she did for them that, you know what, it was awesome to see to have her night. And when you got that kind of sauce and you got that special thing, guys, those are what movies are made about. That's what sports are about, and most importantly, that's what life's about. High character women like herself that make the world a better place.
Robbie here. Do you have an update on Goni and her status?
Not yet. She's practicing, so that part I got. But as far as the recovery, we don't want to bring it back because, anytime you deal with a foot injury, you want to make sure you're careful. Also, I think we're in a good spot, which she knows, where it'd be different if I was at 6 kids. So let's make sure she's 100% healthy, which she's agreed to. And then when it's right, it's right. But at the same time, like I tell every kid who comes back from injury, give yourself some grace, because she hasn't played. She was in practice. Yeah. I think she blocked your shot, and everybody on the team went nuts. All right? So we all want her back, all right? Because her length is unbelievable, and we need it, especially in games like this against Tennessee. But at the same time, you know me, I'm not going to put a kid in a situation where they could get hurt because she's worked so hard, and I know she's eager to get back, and she's finally reached this point, but she's also understanding big picture here.
Does Jerk still have any lingering effects of her ankle, or is she good?
Oh, yeah. Like I've been saying, y'all been hearing me about the team. That's what I love about this team. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to give every inside detail so my opponent can use it against me. All right? But we've been beat up, man. We've been hurt. We've been trying to have great practices. Yeah. For us, y'all, this is what's funny about college sports. We're just back into school. We celebrated like no other with our practice team 2 days ago. So our guys have been gone for, what, a month and a half? And, you know, they're like any other dude who comes. They're like, all right, you know, I'm back. And we're like, yes. And they're like, did I get a new pair of shoes? Like, what's up? We're like, man, we've had like practices with like no competition. We've been beating each other up playing like 3-on-3 Olympic basketball. Like, I don't even have enough numbers to go 5-on-5. And that's what I've been telling everybody. It's like, oh, why are you not doing this in the game? Well, shoot, first time we play a game is actually when we play 5-on-5. Like, no offense, like, I'm not going out there playing. Like, I'm not guarding her. All right, my days are done. All right, I'm in my high 40s. I'm not tearing an ACL trying to make her better. Like, I'll rebound before you put through the workout. But have you seen her cross people over? Like, my days, like, are mad respect. So to get these young guys out and get a practice team, I think that's another reason why we're getting our flow and our best basketballs ahead of us, because it starts in practice. If we have great practices, like I tell them, it's funny how results happen and you win the game, but you don't just win the game by showing up on game day.